Welcome to On the Couch, a regular catch-up where we discuss the issues facing marketing today and hopefully come up with some solutions for you. Today I'm joined by Senior Marketing Consultant at Trinity Peak 3, Zena Churchill. Welcome, Zena.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks for having me.
Look, I was really keen to get you on the couch here because with your experience as a senior marketer, I'm interested in what do you see as the biggest challenge for marketers, especially in very large organisations?
The biggest challenge I see in such organisations is credibility and being able to demonstrate effectively what marketing brings to the table. I think there's still a lack of senior marketing people represented in the C-suite, driving decisions and having input in big picture direction, which fundamentally should be part of the marketing remit.
Because it's so true, isn't it? The marketing today is actually all over organisations. I mean, it's in all different departments.
It is.
How would you as a senior marketer be able to pull all that together when often marketing functions and not even in your team?
That's exactly right. And it's about engaging with the whole business and not promoting yourself, because that's not the right terminology, but it's showing the value that marketing brings across every touch point in the organisation, from finance, where there are probably people sitting in finance doing what would be considered traditional marketing stuff, such as pricing modelling, price strategies, competitor analysis of what's going on in the market with pricing. But that's considered a finance function, when in actual fact, matching price point with your consumer and the product is traditional, and competitors is from my learning and my background, a marketing function.
And this is happening at a time when there's huge transformation happening in marketing. I mean, I'd be interested from your personal perspective, what's the biggest change that's happened for marketers in the past 10 years?
There has been so many changes, but I think what has really impacted on a marketer and a marketer being able to do their job well is the role of the consumer. The consumer has shifted the power balance, and I know it's been said before and it's been talked about that the role of consumer has changed, and it has. For me, how the consumer interacts with brand, how the consumer starts the conversation with brand, continues the conversation, and can take the conversation live to a lot of people very, very quickly, has changed how brands go to market, stay in market, work in market. That to me has been a massive shift. We're no longer just pushing out our message, we are engaging, we're interacting, we're responding.
Because I think, a lot of people poo-hoo social media and the impact that social networking has had, when we talk about consumer power, but I think it's actually impacted on the expectations of consumers, whether they're mad keen social media users or not. Do you agree? Absolutely,
I agree. And quite often you hear people, consumers who've had a bad experience with a brand, they no longer ring the 1300 number or the hotline. They go straight to social media. They post on the Facebook page because their expectation is immediate resolution or response. And I think brands, some have done that very, very well, and some have done it very, very poorly because they feel they don't need to do it, but they do. And social media, love it or hate it, and I love it, has revolutionised how brands can connect with consumers and how consumers connect with brands. It's not a one-way street anymore. It's a two-way street, and it has been for a long time, but it's still, there are brands still trying to catch up with that and respect that.
And the other thing that's happened, of course, is with all of these new channels and specialty areas, from a senior marketing point of view, being able to build and maintain a team to work across all those areas must be a huge challenge.
It is an incredible challenge. I mean, team management, any manager will tell you, is the hardest component of the job. Understanding what you require in your team and how to get the best out of the team is exceptionally difficult. More so when there's the changing landscape of marketing and the changing needs of marketing within a large organisation to be able to deliver on big business strategy. As a marketer, it's also a chance to beat yourself up because you don't have the skills across every single area that you now need. You can't be a digital expert, you can't be a social expert, you can't be an insight expert. What you can be is a great leader in marketing to bring the best out of all of those resources within your team to drive it forward. And it's recognising what you need, when you need it, and how you need it. It's a great challenge. It's a good challenge to have.
Isn't it interesting though, with all this change happening in marketing, that we still see the structures are pretty much staying the same. You know, you either see the decentralized marketing aligned to different silos or business units, or a centralized marketing team, and yet it seems to be lacking.
It does seem to be lacking, and I think that belief and misbelief that there is only two possible structures that a business can have or operate under needs to go. You can either be decentralised or you're centralised. And that's not true. There are so many different ways you can structure a marketing team within an organisation to function better and to work more efficiently and effectively to deliver against an organisation's strategy. We see that a lot in the work that we do, where we go in and we see one or the other, and we see the same problems with one or the other. And quite often we can see the solution is a different structure.
Yeah.
That once we highlight that is like a light bulb going off. And it's a great feeling to be able to deliver that.
Now, one of the things that I've noticed is you can tell a marketing structure is under stress when it has the appearance of lots of bolt-ons. You know, I think of it as band-aids trying to cover up the shortcomings of the existing structure. Do you see similar types of things in the work you're doing?
Absolutely. What we see is, oh, quick, we need a social media specialist. Let's just chuck that on. Oh, quick, we need an insights person. Let's just chuck that on. And what you end up with all of these funnels of people and skill sets going about their work separately. And with no clear strategic drive across the top, no one managing that delivery from a big picture business perspective. And it does, eventually the band-aids start to fall off, and you're still left with this gaping wound that was there in the first place. It hasn't been fixed, nothing's been fixed, and in fact sometimes it can get bigger. So I do find that I think I liken it to a house built on sand. Unless you've got that structure right, the foundation for the rest of your marketing is never going to work. It's always going to fall down.
Now, I know there's categories like financial services that seem to go through a marketing restructure every year. If there's a marketer watching this that's about to face another restructure, what would your advice be?
Firstly, be brave in the face of having to go through another restructure, but I think approach it with a very open mind and a very blank page. And don't just draw exactly the same thing that you have already in place but call positions different things and move the seats around the table. That's not a restructure, that's a shuffle. I think with a blank piece of paper, think, what do we need strategically as a business in place to be able to meet goals and objectives? It's going back to basics and looking at that, identifying that, and then building around that. I also think be fluid, because the team you have working on this 6 months may not necessarily be the team you need or the resources that you require for the next 6 months. So evaluate how that can work and what that looks like.
So actually build agility into the structure itself.
Because, agility, flexibility, and the ability to move quick, I think, is what will help the marketer of today move forward and work well.
That's great advice, Zena. Thanks for joining me on the couch.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for joining us on the couch. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for more On the Couch coming very soon. Thank you.